Hey guys, just a quick little vlog here. I want to read something to you that I wrote about a year ago on Facebook. It was right when I realized that I was going to make it. It was like 4 months into Detox. My life started changing before my very eyes, and I wrote this piece on Facebook, and I really think it could help anyone who's in a lot of pain. So I'm just going to read it. In nature, the most exquisite jewels are created through the most intense processes. Did you know that some carbons, under unimaginable forces of heat and pressure, turn into diamonds? A simple oyster, through grit, a desire to protect itself, and depositing one layer of nacre at a time, will give birth to a pearl, a revered treasure of purity and innocence. The metamorphosis of a caterpillar occurs through a mysterious gooey medium, a chrysalis, that continues to leave the brightest of scientists scratching their heads. In this process, the caterpillar will lose all of its faculties, turn into nutritional soup, and then emerge on the other side as a beautiful and boundless creature, a butterfly. Even rocks, the densest of substances, undergo tremendous changes of heat, pressure, and fracturing to become crystals, which are supercharged conductors of light. It was armed with this knowledge of natural earthly alchemy I was able to continue on the excruciating odyssey. Day by day, it put some much needed context to the otherworldly chaos and suffering that I was enduring. This is how diamonds are created, Josh. Keep going, you're almost there. Are just some of the mantras I would whisper over and over to the emaciated face staring at me in the mirror. The reason I share that is because, you know, we create these stories about our pain. Like, this is really for anyone out there who's suffering. Like, truly, like, I want to help you, you know. I really want to let you know that it's okay to be in that pain, right? And what you need to realize is that this pain isn't just coming from where our mind thinks it's coming from, you know. It's not even as simple as just heavy metals. There's something bigger at play. There's a universal game that's being played where we're basically, the earth is cleaning itself, you know? And if you think about it, we were once these beautiful children, these beautiful babies, these beautiful clean glasses of water, vases of water, and then over time, our water got really murky. And in order to start clearing itself, if you were to pour clean water in a super dirty vase, all of the dirt and all of the junk would come to the surface before being released. And that's what's happening, and that's what's happening to us, and it happens over the course of many, many years. It's not just, you know, oh, 1 week and my depression's gone, and oh, a month and boop, I'm good. I'm suffering. All my suffering is done. It doesn't really work like that. We're talking about generations and generations and generations of faulty blueprints and shitty life habits and pain and war and all that stuff that's imprinted in us on a DNA level, on an epigenetic DNA level. So to think that you can overcome it in a couple months is crazy. You know, this takes time, effort, self-love, honesty, self-acceptance. And look at nature. These processes in nature, like a rock becoming a diamond, takes years and years and years. But all of these processes that I just read about are really painful. They're agonizing. There's so much pressure and force involved, and so much change, and that's what we're going through as a collective right now. We're going through this collective, you know, awakening or ascension or whatever you want to call it. And you know, it's more than just depression and anxiety. Those are just labels. But when you're in that pain, when you're in that crippling agony and the world feels like it's ending and everything just feels awful, there's no point to life. Every day is a sad, lonely, rainy, cloudy day. And, you know, and there's no hope. There's no joy. I know what it's like. And when you're in that moment, try and think of the big picture. You know, try and think like, wow, maybe I'm in the cocoon right now. Maybe I'm turning into a butterfly. And it's so hard for our minds to understand that pain can be a good thing. But it's the truth. Like, it's the real truth. And I have to remind myself this many times. Because I still go through a ton of shit. And yeah, and I have to remind myself that, you know, that there's a global, there's something bigger happening. There's something bigger that we can't really quite grasp and understand fully. But what I think is happening is that we're all coming closer each day to becoming our truest, most pure vessels of spirit, you know? Like restoring harmony to our being. And I think it's really, really painful. And so yeah, just if you're in that place, maybe you're in that place as you're watching this, just remember what I said. The most exquisite jewels are created through the most intense processes. Carbons turning into a diamond, an oyster creating a pearl, caterpillar into a butterfly. You know, even rocks can become crystals. So we're part of nature. We're part of this whole grand game. You know, we're not different because we think we're so smart, and we think we have it all figured out, and we think we're special because we can talk and do all this stuff and have consciousness and analyze consciousness and analyzing of consciousness. So because of that, we think that we are some isolated expression that's, you know, not part of the universe, but it's total bullshit. We are just like the rocks and the trees and the grass. And if all of these substances and parts of nature go through these massive shifts and changes, wouldn't it make sense that we would too? And it will feel like we're dying. At times it will feel like we are dying. But trust that your highest, most beautiful self is just dying to poke itself, to rear its head, and start living through your meat body. Start living through this vessel on a daily basis. It's doing everything it can to take over. So just don't get in the way. Let the pain be there. Experience it. Cry. But remember, we're all caterpillars becoming a butterfly. Peace, guys.